On a less serious note, you said they refer to you as the melanin at school. How did you get that nickname? It's interesting.
Like I gave myself that nickname. So you see the mattering color. So I like every day people will be like, Monica, you solved this. So I was a matter in everything, you know. So I said, I call myself melanin because I matter in every situation. People will be like, Monica, you see, Monica, you can do this. Monica, everything about Monica, you can solve this. And I call myself melanin because again, that's what, like, actually, it was in Form 4 when I gave myself that. I have never been having a nickname before, but I found myself having that. I thought of it one evening. I was just like, hey, sitting. When I lost my dad, and no one was talking to me, and everyone still feels like Monica can solve my problems. I'm in a problem. No one sees my problem, but they want me. So in every situation, I matter. So I said, I'll be that coloring matter. Like I call myself melanin. I don't know if it was a good reasoning, but that's how I gave myself that name of being called African melanin.
I love it.
Because I think I was solving problems that were beyond South Sudanese, Kenyans were coming, those Ugandans and everyone else, and I was like, okay, I matter, and I become an African melanin.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I'll pass it on to Achia. Nyanbe, take over.
Um, Thank you again, Monica Malith. Malith, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to talk to them more. So, I'm just wondering, since you are a president of a student body in University of Nairobi, and your association, sorry, it's mostly involved sometime in Kenyan politics. Is it something that you should, or is it something you can encourage the University of Juba students to participate in, and how can they get involved in participating in, I know Kota, but to participate in 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 South Sudanese politics? Do you think it's something that will gradually like happen, or it's something that you will be like, no, like, do you have any advice on that? Maybe there are some
Um,
students that are going to listen to this from your
okay, yeah, like one thing I've come to realize with politics and university students,
mm,
and the way it has been perceived, I can just say that is perception more so of it. And like then, when Kenya was still growing in the policies and everything else, and the future of Kenya was being shaped, students were being used, and the politicians were, because the majority of the voters are students,
mhm.
so they will want to have voters and they will want students to be involved in 1, 2, 3 things to support their agendas. And if you get students supporting your course of action, then you get a majority of your okay, whatever you want usually go through. And again, I will say politics and the national politics and the students is all what you choose to do. For me now, I'm partnering with different politicians, maybe to do Mr. and Miss UoN, maybe to partner, let's say, we have to create security awareness and insecurities, and how then as a student at the university, what do you do? And like that's when I get myself to get involved with the politicians, and it's nothing that just comes and say it's one thing. It's something clear. No, it's a personal relationship.
Yeah.
And if those students back in South Sudan want to involve themselves with politics,
Mm.
like I'm just watching them and the way they're doing it. I don't feel like I'm not saying it's, to me it's not right the way they are doing it, because even they have not align themselves. There has to be mentorship for you to buy the ideas of the government. There's a way the government directly involves you. So how many times do we have government officials coming to the University of Juba, maybe talk to students? Can they come and talk even on citizenship? Does it happen? So why are you getting yourself? I don't even know on what line are they going to be involved with the government. So I have not yet seen a clear picture of it. But now for me, I do partnership with them. I can go to them and say, a majority of our students don't have school fees, and how can you come in as a county government? You see, how can you increase bursaries? How can we do this? The students are affected in this way. What can you do? So that's how we are directly involved with the politician in a positive way. And as we do it, we're not doing it to support the government. We are doing it in a way that they come back as politicians in the position that they have the capacity to come back and support the students. We are not doing it in their favor. We are doing it actually in our favor. So, but there in South Sudan, students do it and they take it personal, they hate themselves, and that's not how you should get involved yourself. And the affiliation of politics and political parties in Kenya it's all about perception. It's totally a different thing because in my position, I was told like, these things are affiliated to the government, but actually in my 2 terms of like the last term in office and this one, there were no politicians involved. So I think it's a perception now that I experienced it. It's more of a perception than just saying that they are politically oriented. It's how, like if I go to a politician and tell them, please support me in my campaign, it's not like that politicians really want something out of it, but I went to them to ask for their support. So they will support me in that way. And then maybe if next time they are buying, they can ask me to be in their campaign trail. And that's how it is happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice. I'm not, I don't usually know how this stuff happen, but I'm going to ask you a last question, and I think this is what Lisa did would actually ask. So let me do this news for you. It's about self-development. So let's take it back to self-development. So according to how you have explained your journey and narrated everything, it looks like it's tedious job to do, right? So I'm just wondering, how do you deal with the pressure? What do you do for your long time to make sure that your mental health is in check and your health in general is in check? What are the activities that you do to distract from this pressure that you get from work?
Um, Actually, I used to be a lone person who just sits because, I realized that friendships were toxic. You can come today to a lady and you talk to them of what is affecting you, but you hear totally a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can say now, I don't have a network of people I call my best friends, but I have people we are journeying together.
All right.
So that I don't get personal with them. If I'm affected in any way, I don't tell them my personal stories because you can get a different one, get a different story. So I engage people at a distance, and I really want them to grow because I've realized when I become a friend to a lady, I'm privileged in a way because every situation I go to, I with that. I steal the show everywhere, and most of the girls and most of my age mates will not take it lightly. So I realized that, and I kept myself off a bit. And what I do is I listen a lot to music, and I write whenever I feel like I'm down. I write now that because I don't have people to confine in. And again, another problem I'm facing is that people see me as I can always get away with anything,
Yeah.
and I like even when I go to ask for advice, they'll be like, even what can't you do? So no one really think that if I come to them to ask, they will not solve my problem. They're like, hi, Monica, you're kidding. You can never miss, you can never feel low. So again, then it's a bit difficult getting people who can say, like, I understand your situation. People don't people will be like, hey, Monica, no. You can get away with anything, everything else. And actually it almost affected me. People have left me to strength. I wrote that article sometimes because people left me to she's strong, she's always strong. And it's something a bit difficult for me. People believe in me as a strong person, but I need someone to talk to, someone to listen and feel like I have a weakness. I'm weak in one way or the other. There are things that can affect me and I should come to you for help. But that has not yet happened. I have not found that person. I've not found that person who feels like if Monica comes to me, even if I go to a lecturer, even if I go to a senior person, they always tell me the same thing. Monica, you're strong. So sometimes I feel like even if I go with a problem, I'm like, what is that? So I have built my own strength and my own ways of dealing with things. I don't even believe in mental health. I'm actually fit. I'm okay. I feel so because
All
no
right.
one believes that I will ever be affected. So
Yeah, I'm
difficult.
sorry to hear that. You will get someone soon to confine in and be there for you. It's really sad because most of the time we lose strong people just because people believe that they are strong enough to overcome any storm in their life, which is the wrong thing. But yeah, just do what it takes for you to be mentally okay because we want you fit and sound.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Achille, you decided to take the thunder from my field of from my field of expertise. I will forgive you today. The next time I will not. Okay, that's on a light
One
note.
apology.
That's on a light note, and the conversation has been great. What I would say is, um, be the curse of being the superwoman or the superhuman being. We are not. We are not. So uh, I wish you a cool journey where you will get somebody to talk to and to just help you. It could even be your mother. It could be your dad. I find so much solace in my dad. So I would wish that on you. You did mention that you lost your dad, so sorry about that. Yeah, but wishing you that good human being. I have one question, and it is tied to the personal development again, but I am talking about the students, especially the international students. One of the privileges that we enjoyed being international students in Canada was the ability to work. You had mentioned lack of school fees for students at some point, and that did not stop only at high school. You were able to come up with a solution, and I am sure that problem still exists at the university level. Personally, I know a few people that have had to drop out. When I was at University of Nairobi, I am not 100% sure of financial assistance or part-time work either on campus or off campus. Is that something that has been introduced, or are there conversations, especially for international students? And does our embassy actually provide any kind of assistance? Would you know of any resources that people can take advantage of?
Uh, Maybe about the embassy. I wouldn't say anything about it, but I don't know anything because the internship they have there, let's say maybe there's something that apart from thinking of funds and knowing the funds that might be available, internships there are for free. As student goes there, they're not paid. So but now I have no control over it and I have not explored. I'm yet to sit down and have a talk with them. How can they, instead of offering internships in the embassy, can they connect our students to other companies back in South Sudan where they can get payment? I'm 2 months in office, maybe my third month, so a bit is still being said. But like I said, as I was talking to the university and the DBC Academic Affairs, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic Affairs, I told him like you have to know the category of international students that you have. The refugees are treated as international students, those being paid by their parents and those coming back from a well-off continents are being termed. But can you offer work studies program? They are only for Kenyans, but can you give refugees a work study program whereby even if they're not in a position to pay fees, they can get something to buy meals and get to work from there. And that is what is coming to actualization at the beginning of the academic year in September. I gave out two students, one from South Sudan and one from Somali, or is it Ethiopia? No, is it, yeah, Somali, something like that, to that office. They will be working in that international students office apart, alongside other officers. And then now as we work on maybe providing more opportunities and encouraging them as well. Most of the students actually don't explore. So I'm also struggling again to let them understand that they can apply for any job advertisement that is any work study program that the university advertises. If you apply for it, no one will deny you, but they don't. So it's another struggle I'm doing to let them get aware of the possibility of them having to work and get maybe even 10,000 per month to sustain themselves. So it's in progress, and there's no work outside. There are no works here, so that's why I was also talking of entrepreneurial skills. Can you think of something to do yourself as a as are working on the streets as well? Can you put aside the ego of being a South Sudanese and being a Dinka and be whoever you are and do something that will help you? And most of already, some of them are coming up with their own maybe pedicure shops, they do nails and all of that. Again, can we encourage each other and support? You know, we are a big number. So if we find one of us having something they are doing, can you also support them? Actually, I used to sell chapatis in my apartment, in my hostel. I used to wake up very early in the morning at 5, and then when I was in first year, I just wanted to try. Yeah, I had the school fees, I had what to sustain myself, but I wanted to try the struggle of a student being in school and working as well, and maybe doing a side hustle. And I used to wake up every morning. There was an apartment, had 17th floor. 17 floors. So I say, let me be making chapatis and be distributing it to the apartment. People I know are late to walk out, and there are many students there. So I used to wake up before I attend my classes. I would make maybe about 60 to 100 chapatis and sell them. I used to get a lot of money. So can they explore such? Can they think beyond the box? And can they do, apart from me being a law student, I also can try and do other things just for the sake of it, you know. So that's what I was telling most of the students, to try as much as they can, to not feel so much important, but explore and try things, even if it's not for anything. Yeah, I used to pay for my brother's fee, and my brother is now in Canada, and my another younger brother is in school here now. So can you try do something, even if you're sponsored? You know, can you do something for your siblings as well, and can you do something for people you are with? And they can cook chapatis and sell like I did. I used to get a lot of customers. People will come to me at night, and I make very good chapatis. So they will come to me at night and say, you know, I cannot sleep angry while you are here. So you keep on and make chapatis for me. I'll be patient to wait for 1 hour for you to make for me. And I used to get a lot of money, but it became a bit tedious with my work and my leadership. So I had to stop doing it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Alakir, I just have a quick follow-up before I can leave
No
this
worries. Go
you.
ahead.
But I keep being blown away, girl. Look, while at University of Nairobi too, I used to braid. I used to do hair, right? I went to school and did hair and what have you. She looked frozen, so I'm just gonna remove my video. Yeah, I don't know if she can get me. Could you say something,
Yeah,
Monica?
I'm getting you. I'm getting you. Yes. You're very clear.
Okay,
Even
so
with your video on, it is still okay.
okay, good. I think I just like putting the video on for that interaction and then put it off. But yeah, I did that too. It's really interesting how we can be at school and still be handy uh, on businesses or on things that we can do to uplift ourselves and our siblings and our families. I used to buy books for my siblings. It's so interesting. Um, Maybe one last comment and to come as a question. I work a lot on some of the African items aside from my official work. And what we talk about mostly is the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which is duped us after for the short term of it. After objective is to open up the African market as a whole, especially the sub-Saharan African market. There are a lot of challenges that people face or we faced and other people are still facing right now in Kenya, such as work permits being too expensive or not being able to do businesses in Kenya, not being able to qualify eligibility criteria being too tight for people. But after is opening up the market, are people aware within the University of Nairobi and even other campuses? Are people aware about AFTA and the objectives? And are people taking advantage of these and actually proactively for their roles or whatever categories they can fall into so that they can qualify for work?
Uh-huh. And maybe before you go there and we talk of what is happening in Africa and the job market and all that, we need to let students understand even what it means being in the university and what opportunities that you can take up. Because you have a situation whereby students go to class, they sit after the class, they pick themselves as households and they walk home. So even before I don't think there is any of them taking advantage of that, because even they're not taking advantage of the opportunities available in the university that can even make them now understand there are such forums and there's such lectures that are given on maybe trade and businesses and working permit and licenses. So I would just say it's a bit somewhere our students are not taking an advantage of. They're not even taking advantage of the university opportunities, leave alone now what beyond work is. And I felt like we need to do a lot for our students here, because most of them even have engaged in drugs. Most of them feel like being in our class is about, they don't even know their lecturers. Some of them might end up, even if they ask a lecturer for them a recommendation, they will not be given a recommendation, because it's becoming very strict nowadays that if you don't know, have any personal relationship with a student, you don't give them what? You don't give them a recommendation. So it's like we're trying to work on the recommendations, the university, and making them take up the opportunities. They're not thought of the outside of it. That's the sad part of it. And they don't, you see, the girls South Sudanese want to carry themselves as the South Sudanese. They say Monica is out. There are times I'm out until 12 in the midnight. There are times I'm out until 2 in the midnight. There's time I meet people impromptu. Maybe someone just says, can we meet at 8 p.m.? A South Sudanese lady, I think a woman, girl will say, that's being a bad girl, you know? So it's a lot to still do and let them understand that. Can we advocate for them to take up? Can we advocate for them to know that you being out in the middle of the night or late in the evening is you doing something wrong? Sometimes I go to a club, of course I don't drink, but there is that music. If I just listen to it and sit and know what happens in the clubs, at least it will be a different experience, especially now in my position as the president. Students can just say, hey, Madam Ambassador, like, okay, Monica, like, okay, the Ambassador Malith, let's go and chill somewhere. I'll go sit with them. They drink, yes. And I stay. Actually, even taking soda is so hard. So one of my favorite things is milk. I tell them, like, if you can give me a whole jerrycan of milk, I'll take it. But with other drinks, even soda, it's a bit difficult. So it's about trying everything and anything that is possible for you to try with knowing yourself. Because I know myself, going to a club will not make me a bad girl. Going to a club will not make me take alcohol. And if I was in a position, maybe I vibe so well with alcohol, maybe I would have been taking it, but I don't. I don't get it. So it's about exploring yourself, understanding yourself, and understanding the opportunities that you have. Because if you take up this opportunity, it leads to the next. But if you take none, you'll never get anywhere. And now at my position of being the president, I'm getting things that other students will not get because of taking up an opportunity and place myself somewhere. So people will be engaging me with things further. So I will say for now, yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you very much. That's the value of being proactive, and the value, again, as you had said, of knowing yourself and knowing what you want to get out of life and going after it. Thank you very much, Alakir.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the important questions to be asked. I hope we're not taking too much of your Sunday, Monica. It's just that we cannot get enough of you, and I'm sold on your chapati. So next time I come to Kenya, expect me at your door.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Just to emphasize that entrepreneurship spirit in students, especially South Sudanese or other international students in University of Nairobi or other institutions. I just want to speak about experiences as a international student in Canada and what that entails in terms of supporting yourself. Yes, most of us are very lucky. We were able to get full scholarships. Some of us got half scholarships. Some got 1 year and they had to fend for themselves for the rest of the school year. So obviously you have to get creative. Either you work overnight, go to school during the day, and you have to find opportunities to be able to get that money, support yourself, make sure you finish school. And I went to the University of British Columbia School of Business, And the entrepreneurship spirit I participated in wasn't exactly for my benefit. Rhoda started a nonprofit organization to help put students from Kakuma refugee camp to school. What's the name again, Rhoda? I'm forgetting. It's been a while.
I know, right? It's almost many years. Oh, yeah, I sponsor a child. Very straightforward.
Right. Sponsor a child. So we did all kinds of things with this organization. I literally went to the streets and sold chocolate. And people would look at you and you want to just die and bury yourself. So like taking advantage of these opportunities, I was just in Kenya in 2019, right after my graduation, going to the city and seeing everyone is waking up super early, like 5, 6 a.m., and they're walking, not even taking the bus, no money to take the bus, walking to the town, going to hustle day in, day out. I just want to inspire this mindset in everyone who's like too preserved by stereotypes that I'm not supposed to be out late, or I'm not supposed to be selling sweets or toys or whatnot. So getting creative would really help the student help themselves. You can have a full scholarship, but you don't have enough money to buy breakfast for the days you go to school and you're not able to cook. So I really would encourage people to think outside the box. Like I did mention, she used to braid hair and then she got paid for it. I did the same. Thinking of whatever you have that can be valued by somebody else can really make you money. And that is really powerful. Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Alaki, for echoing that. I remember you selling donuts for a sponsored child. So we actually ended up sponsoring 5 boys. They finished high school, and others got it's other scholarship to universities. Others now are looking for opportunity to come to Canada through WASC. And the organization is continuing. So Monica, you really are inspirational, and our people should really look up to you. I'm really, really cognizant of your time, and I want you to just share the last word. For young ladies, especially Dinka, what would you tell them, and how would they find you online if they listen to this podcast of ours and want to reach you? How will they? I know you're very busy, but of course, mentorship, it's something that you're passionate about, and it's something that every young girl need to have.
maybe one thing I'll tell them again, they another important thing that our girls have to really know how to deal with your aspirations is relationships. They have to know their relationships. I see people go into, they don't even know why they are, but because they see Monica maybe having a kind of a relationship on social media, so you go pick it up and you want to be the same. You see someone is having a boyfriend in this place, and most of us now, the young ladies that we have, are being affected by thinking that my family will be harmed by this person, and if I get married to them. But like I went to South Sudan, and when I was doing the mentorship program, I talked to a lady, and she stood up. She was like, Monica, you're just talking to us about academics. You're not talking to us about maybe your other life of relationships and how you're dealing with that. And I was like, I have a boyfriend now who we still share, is in school and school and all that, but my focus is focusing I'm focusing with my studies. He is as well. And they said, they have this person in here in Dubai, is working, he has a lot of money, he has a car. So you're not talking anything about that. You're not telling us if you have an opportunity to get a rich man, you should get married to them, or like ish. Like you still think in that way. For me now, I think I travel countries. In East Africa, I'm going to more than, maybe I'm remaining with two to travel the 7 countries in East Africa, but there is no man who's doing that for me. It's how I take up opportunities, how I get to every little chance I get, I use it and I utilize it so well. So girls really want to work on their relationships and how they perceive them, and how they feel like the only best way or the only thing I can do is by maybe looking for rich man. Girls in Juba nowadays are, yes, they're in school, one leg in school, one leg outside, and they're not doing it the right way. And that's one thing I really want us to again focus with, as you, even your next topic of discussion could be that. And maybe can how did you deal with such relationships for you to achieve? Because most of us, your parents, like their parents were crying because they took girls to school and went and dropped out and went to a man. You know, we're only talking of our parents not taking us to school, but now we are not talking of we are being taken to school, but we're not achieving our dreams. We're shaming our parents. We make them feel bad. So that's one of the major problems that people have not been focused with. And I'll tell the girls out there that you can date, yes, you can have a relationship, yes, but then alongside that, know yourself, establish yourself, always want to grow, self-development, no one will come for you. And before you think of a man saying that he will solve, just at least do a little bit. The problem we have again with these ladies, they don't do a background search of their boyfriends. Unlike our mothers and those girls, our aunties, the middle-aged women, if you date a guy, you would want to know their background. But the ones we have, it's you and you and you and how you look and how you dress. You don't even know where they sleep. And okay, if you know where they sleep, I know where you know. You don't even know their families. So again, girls really not, can we, okay, our traditions are not bad. They used to help us in a way, like knowing someone's background before you decide to marry them or before you perceive to like take it that way. Can you understand where they're coming from? If they tell you they'll take your siblings to school, how many siblings has he taken in his family, in his relatives around him now that he will come and extend the gratitude of you, of your siblings, you know? And then a young families again, people think, you know, we married off, we are a young couple. People are getting misled, and Kakuma is a big issue. It's a big issue in Kakuma. Imagine a 2000-year boy implemented another girl. They like, and then they want to do what family goals, young family, YouTubing and posting on Facebook a couple with your child. But where next? You know, have been to Kakuma, a guy here, I actually came to look for him. He's under Duffy scholarship, but implemented how many girls at I go? 3. And then because of what actually I want a young family and like you had all those relationships, and you think again your boyfriend is at the university, you think they are married. Can we make girls understand that boyfriends or the boys in the universities might be the most brokest, you know, like they don't have anything. So can we make them also understand the dynamics and how everything else is going, you know? So these are the things that we have to tell them. Really get to know. Guys are suffering in the universities. You are there in Kakuma thinking that because your boyfriend is in the university, is having a lot, you see. So that's what I will tell young girls, and relationships with your studies, these things go hand in hand. That's what I've realized with young girls who want to couple and they want to do TikTok videos with their boyfriend. So it's a lot of problem there. And you can always find me on Facebook as Monica Malith, on Twitter, Monica Malith, on Facebook, Monica Malith, on IG, Monica Malith, but I'm mostly active on Facebook and I respond to people's messages. Actually do it. I actually go back to my message request because I know students give me information there, so I don't ignore it. So I go filter out who wants to talk to me. Like I just talked to someone, maybe 4 students who want to join the University of Nairobi, and it has been a bit difficult. So I prioritize checking my Facebook mostly so that I get to be of help. Some of them I do the application for them, and now I can go direct to the university and say, because our scholarships now are based on, if you have an admission, you have the priority to be given a scholarship. So I tell the university, can you please also fast track of how you give our admissions, because our scholarships depends on it. And the university is gladly doing that. And that's I can say for now. I'm talking a lot. I talk a lot.
Wow, wow, wow. You actually also brought us back to the beginning that your network is your net worth, you know, so relationship matters. And I will give it to Lisa D. She's actually an expert on this. Relationship and self-development go together, and net worth to eventually translate to money. So Liz, take it away. Give us that conclusion.
I am so happy. I cannot put it in words. And I maybe the best way I would have done it is get up and dance, but you have put it succinctly. And yesterday I was speaking with 2 friends, and the conclusion was With a wrong relationship, you will negate everything. Your your dreams, your
Just that.
your status, your studies, everything, you will negate it. The second point is that the men we are looking up to are also struggling. They are also struggling. We were in the universities with them. They have their personal problems to deal with. So how about we also clean ourselves up and then we meet with the guys at the top here? Akwal said something some time back, Rhoda Phillips. She said the air up here is very clean to breathe. And ladies, whoever will listen, the young ladies that are still in school that will listen to this, trust you us. The air up here is very clean. Please do your school. The boyfriends are not running away. You know, the relationships are good, but go into your relationships, as Monica has said it, go into your relationships when you are ready. When you are ready, we don't want the heartbreaks that we hear after you are in a marriage and a lot of things just go wrong. You don't deserve that. You are a beautiful girl. You are a beautiful soul, a beautiful being that God wants to prosper. So I really love this. This could be another discussion altogether, but the way you have closed it, especially in our community where we worship just marriage, but not self development, as a self development expert and enthusiast at the same time, I I 100% endorse this message.